All right, we're here with Mike Novogratz. Nice to see you. How are you?
Not bad. Just got my ass whooped.
You mentioned, a small little gas tank out there. How did it feel finally to get back on the mat?
Yeah, it's a humbling sport, and if you're not in top shape, you feel good for about 20 seconds, and then you're breathing, and then you get whooped. And so it's a great metaphor for the sport for life that you got to prepare. I wasn't prepared today, but I was having fun.
That's good. Having fun is, the most important part about the sport, so that's good. Can you explain to me about, your experience in wrestling, how, it all first started, and then, step by step, how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, sure. So my dad brought me to my first wrestling practice probably when I was 8, second or third grade, and like most things in life, I was pretty good at it. Now that's on a relative scale, right? That's a bunch of 8-year-olds running around in Northern Virginia where wrestling wasn't, part of the fabric of the place like it is in Oklahoma or Pennsylvania, New Jersey or Long Island, but it was still decent wrestling. And, so I did a few seasons. They were 10-week seasons, probably like any other sport. Played soccer, did wrestling. And as I got better at it, took it more seriously, and, I made the varsity as a freshman because I was 98 pounds and hadn't reached puberty. Went through high school, almost won the states. I got a career of almosts. Lost in the state finals in overtime. That still pisses me off to this day. Got recruited, had a bunch of places, chose to go to Princeton, mostly because Brooke Shields was going there and she was kind of a superstar. And went to Princeton and wrestled, and didn't really break the starting lineup to my junior year. Had kind of a breakthrough season my junior year. Made it to nationals. Got beat in the first round, which sucked. Came back senior year. Lost in the Eastern Finals. Made it to nationals. Almost in hand grenades. Doesn't count. Almost in wrestling doesn't count. But I had a good tournament. Won a few matches. Didn't make All-American. And for the most part, that was my wrestling career. And so it was marked by hard work, decent success, and almost being a champion. And I think part of that is why at 53 you're still back on the mat, because you're pissed you didn't win. But that translates into other stuff in life. And so I went to the Army, flew helicopters, went to Wall Street, and almost wasn't going to be good enough on Wall Street, so I became a partner of Goldman Sachs. Left there, kind of rebuilt myself, and went on to a company, work at a company called Fortress. We were the first company to go public, first hedge fund company to go public. That was very cool. And I remember when I was walking through the stock market, the exchange, ready to ring the bell, all these guys cheering for us. I felt like it was the March of Champions, a great match. The All-Americans and the NCAAs, or even in high school. And I was like, fuck it, no more almosts. We were winners, we were champions. And so I see wrestling as that metaphor, hard work, keep working, lose, fall on your ass, get back up, work harder, and try to succeed. And so we did Beat the Streets with the idea of trying to teach kids in the inner cities those same skill set. And this today is it's a fundraiser to have fun, to raise awareness, to get the old guys to remember why they did this sport, so they give back to the kids, and also just celebrate wrestling culture.
How would you say you're still involved in the sport? You're not wrestling, but you're still involved. Wrestling is still a part of your life forever. So how do you find yourself still involved with the sport?
I'm lucky enough to have gotten rich. So when you get rich, everyone comes to you and asks you for stuff, and you can give it to everything. You pick stuff that you care about. And so one of the 4 or 5 buckets of my philanthropy is wrestling, and so I give to Beat the Streets my time and money. To USA Wrestling, I support some of the Olympic guys. To a lot of the regional training centers, the NWCA, the Hall of Fame, just holistically want to be part of the sport. And when you become successful, no matter what levels of success you have some obligation to figure out how you can, walk the rest of the people home and help them out. And so if you get real rich, you got to do things on a bigger scale, which is fun. And so, you try to inspire people to do what they can. Beat the Streets wouldn't exist with all the volunteers without all the volunteers, the coaches, the kids, who everyone contributes. Maybe not always financially, but moving the mats or reffing the matches. And so you just try to lead by example.
You know, you do a great thing for the sport. You know, you lead by example. You know, you give. You know, you always hear the expression, "You give, you get back twofold." You know, you do a great thing. You're helping kids who don't have the greatest, lifestyles or opportunities, and you lead them to do great things. What does Beat the Streets as a program mean to you? And seeing where it started, where you helped it start from to get to where today, what does it mean to you? You know, New York City wrestling now, when these guys go to states, these guys have to worry now. You have Brandon Nunez, last year's first PSL Division I champion. This year, Terry Adams, New York State champion.
I know, it's cool. The most flattering part about Beat the Streets is there's 17 other ones. Providence, the guy that runs Beat the Street Providence just kicked my butt. And they built a great program on a smaller budget. Beat the Streets LA, Chicago, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Des Moines. And so that's flattering. And it's not just me. Al Belvalacqua was a big part of this. Rob Schoenberg was a big part of it. Mike Torriero and Ken Bigley and now Brendan Buckley. And so it's been an army of people, but it's fun. It's fun to be a part of something that becomes a brand and becomes part of the sports legacy.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thanks a ton.